morning, citizens. I woke up in Grim Hex with a body on the floor and another body on the bed. So, let's continue this trend. Leave a surprise for the third person to use this hab. What a way to start Halloween. Now, in the verse, if you don't know, Halloween is referred to as Day of the Vara, and there's a whole story behind Day of the Vara and a lot of the things that happen. This is also the time of year where two things happen besides contests on Spectrum. In the verse, you're finding a lot of the Drake ships are for sale, as well as the green paint that is available. Always a pumpkin carving contest, which happens every year. And this year, a kind of a cool new contest, which is, why is it nothing loading? It's taking forever. Which is a machinima style, create a video in-game style contest. And the prizes are usually pretty good. Usually you get like a Drake Caterpillar is one of them. I don't remember the other prizes, but that's usually one of the big prizes. With the green ghoulish paint, that's kind of cool. Maybe I made a mistake by dying. Hopefully this will load. If not, I'm going to reload it again. But also, there's usually some giveaways in the game that you can earn for masks. And we're going to get into that. That is the reason for this video. I'm going to go to the menu, and I'm going to reload, and hopefully we'll start back. I don't know where. Maybe in Grim Hex Hospital. Maybe at Everest. I don't remember where I last set my spawn, so we'll find it out. And then we'll get into how to get these masks. But before that, I'm going to talk about CitizenCon real quick. CitizenCon did happen over the weekend, and there is a lot to unpack there. A lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of things people are excited about, and a lot of things that people are unsurprisingly complaining about and angry about on Spectrum. So we're going to get into that. We're going to go through everything over the next few days. And when I say everything, I don't mean absolutely everything, because I don't know how much of the kind of debrief with Chris Roberts and Jared, and I can't remember the other name off the top of my head. Where am I? Where am I? Also, why is am I dead? Did it crash? What's happening? Maybe my joke didn't turn out for the best. Maybe this is not for the best. I'm gonna try. Oh, what was that? What was that? I saw something for a split second. Oh, here we go. We're in the hospital in Grim Hex. No worries. We will just get into our ship and fly away. What was I talking about? The long talk at the end. I don't remember the third person, their name. Head of development for Squadron 32. A lot there that we're going to eventually talk about, but it's going to be a while. That's restrooms. That's not where we want, is it? No, I am lost. How do I get out of here? Why am I talking? There we go. While walking, and I can't handle that. Things like master modes is a new thing. I'm going to talk a bit more about that. Some things I'm absolutely going to get into. For instance, Lorville. I was so excited to see the plans for a new and updated version of Lorville. Lorville's been around for such a long time, and they plan on improving it. And honestly, what I saw there makes me super excited and super happy. Oh, that's... Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, this might be the issue. Hey, shocker. The elevators are broken, and now I'm stuck in here. Alright, alright. Not working. We're going to fix this, and then I will be back in a moment. And here we go. We are back, and we're through those elevators of death. No problems there once I got to them. So we are now going to retrieve our Nomad. The reason why I was at Grim Hex, I was trying to remember, is because I did some illicit cargo, selling some of the neon or slam or whatever it is that you can sell here. Someone took an elevator, or whatever those are called. Ooh, see, too bad these aren't lootable. Too bad cities don't have lootable items. LA Hangar 5. We're gonna go to Hangar 5. So I was just talking about Lorville. Lorville has me super excited, although as much as I want to see the city they showed, is it maybe getting too big? It's already massive compared to the size of the planet. Does it need to get bigger? It's just the planets aren't as big as like a planet, so that makes the city itself kind of an interesting size. But I love the look. I love that despite it getting bigger and taller, those huge buildings are still not overpowering the main center building that makes Lorville what Lorville is. Also, it looks like it'll still be easy to get to the spaceport. It's not going to be really hard to see, but I would love the idea of flying through the cities and through the streets, and eventually if there's a way to get like a home in the city, since I love Lorville so much, that is going to be pretty awesome. So I really did like the Lorville thing. They showed a lot about Pyro without showing too much, I think. Pyro looks awesome, looks amazing, but they didn't show any of the cities or stations. They just showed the topography and some of the biomes and some of the layouts. Not at all what I thought this that Pyro was going to look like. I have to remember that I am not wearing a spacesuit at the moment. We're going to go to Hurston. We're going to travel there. I can't go there directly, so we're going to have to fly around the sun. So we're going to do that first. So once I get to Hurston, we are going to look at the masks that are available for Halloween. So that is pretty cool. So before that, while I head to Hurston, I'm going to talk about two more things. One is the Spirit. The Spirit came out. I am definitely going to have a video coming out talking about the Spirit and my thoughts on the Spirit and whether or not it is a good ship to plan having in the future, as well as the STV. I almost said STD. That would be an unfortunate name for the thing. The STV, a little Grey Cat buggy, which looks really cool, partly because you can access both ship inventory and a little storage for doing delivery missions. It'll be fun, a fun thing to drive around. The look of it, I kind of think, is kind of a cool look, although they say they're going to change the design of the PTV to kind of match the STV, to have them all kind of in a Grey Cat look, and that's kind of disappointing because I actually really like the look of the PTV, and so the fact that it's going to change is a little bit of a disappointment personally for me. But we are now heading, actually we're going to stop here and we're going to actually head to Hurston. Now I could go anywhere that I want to get these masks, but I'm going to go to Hurston. I'm going to talk about these masks first and foremost, what they are and what's going to happen. Now, 2 years ago, there were two masks that became available. The Vandal Snarl, or whatever it's called, a Vandal mask, and the Neville Lot Hill Horror mask. And to get those masks, you had to accomplish two tasks. One of them, to get the Hill Horror mask, in my opinion, was extremely hard. You had to go and set foot on Bennyhenge. Once you set foot on Bennyhenge, you would receive the mask, but you didn't know if it worked because you wouldn't receive the mask till after the event was over. You just had to hope that it worked because finding Bennyhenge is not easy. It took quite a while to get there. At the time, a lot of other things, including places like Jumptown, were also hard to get. You had to know where to go unless you had a mission, so they were really hard. The other one was the Vandal mask. And the Vandal mask, you had to kill 50 players in any one of these specific ships that were as part of the event. And again, if it didn't work, you didn't know until the very end. So people were doing PvP, fighting each other for events. Now, what that turned into is people saying, I need 5 more kills. Who needs other kills? People getting together, taking turns, letting one person destroy them, and then destroying the other person in turn to get their 50. It did take a while, but I very rarely saw people fighting. It took me a long time to find people that were willing to actually dogfight and not just exchange kills. But there were people out there. Not as many people got the Vandal mask because it was really hard. And at the time, that was the only way to get the mask, and it was going to be the only time that mask was available. The next year, the Hill Horror mask last year was available. All you had to do was step foot in Jumptown. Now, Jumptown, by that point, you just set your marker to, warp to, landed, got out, got in. Compared to finding Bennyhenge, it was a lot harder. And some people were kind of upset because the masks that showed that they spent that time trying to find Benihenge became very easy to find. So unsurprisingly, the fact that those masks plus a third style are now available, people are upset both that it is very easy to get the mask compared to some of the other ways, at least in a way it's easier, as also it's not as distinctive and it's not as exclusive as it once was by being offered. I understand the exclusivity. I kind of wish that each time they made a mask they'd at least make it different, and today I'm going to tell you that at least one of those things has happened, which is good. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's easy to get these masks. You do have to put in the work, and there is some luck involved. So that is the big issue. Basically, the masks are now lootable, and so you can go find the masks. However, with 3.18, there is the expectation that servers are getting wiped. So what the fix has been is that if you have a mask, it's going to be attributed to your hangar once the event is over. So I'm going to actually read what it says here. So this is from Ulf, U-L-F, how do you say that? Ulf, on Spectrum. And he's saying, to answer the question, will you lose these masks? As mentioned in a thread about Alpha 3.17.2 update, we will likely perform a database wipe when Alpha 3.18 releases. This is due to the fact that the backend will have major rework as long-awaited systems such as persistence come online. To preserve the masks, we will mark accounts that loot any of the Day of Vara masks during Alpha 3.17 and make sure to reattribute one permanent copy each after the wipe so that you can continue the fight with Alpha 3.18. This will show up in your web hangar in 3.18. So again, you're not going to know 100% sure if this worked until 3.18. So if you need to, maybe take screenshots in case something goes wrong. Also, people are saying, do you need it on you? Do you need to be wearing it? Do you need it in your inventory? And I, reading this, think it's the looting. The looting, I think, is the trigger that marks the maps. Because it does say, will mark any accounts that loot any of the Day of the Vara masks, meaning that you have to be the one to loot that mask. If someone gives you a mask that they're carrying around, I don't think, personally, that is going to be what attributed to your account. I don't think they're going to look at your inventory and find later. I think it's just looting them, just like it needed to be going into Jump Town, needed to kill a certain number of ships, needed to actually set foot on Benihenge. I think you have to be the one to loot the accounts, or loot the masks, I should say. Also, there are different masks out. The bear ones, the Halloween ones, do not exist. What do exist is the parasite masks and the Neville Lot masks and the Vandal mask. The Neville Lot mask actually has two versions. Look at the mouthpiece. If one is red with like the brown, that is the original one, or there's a black one with green lights. This is what I like to do. You can go to any POI. Now if I go back to Hurston, any of the POIs for the most part, you can go to like all the HDMS ones. You can go here. Where you're not finding them is underground facilities and derelict ships. But I suggest personally to go to ETA because not too many people are here, and we have two HDMS, Ryder and Woodruff. So I'm going to select that, and we're going to go there, and we're going to send ourselves there. Now before I do, I'm actually going to do one thing, so you're not going to see this. I'm going to edit this out. I'm actually going to go to Everest Harbor, and I'm going to reset my spawn so that I'm not stuck in Grimhex again. So you can join me in a moment once I have reset my spawn. Hello, citizens! This is how you get your Day of the Vara masks for this year's Halloween giveaway. If you've been watching this video, you're going to notice that I'm going to repeat myself a bit for any of you that have skipped ahead and just want to know how you get the mask. There are a number of masks lootable in-game now, at least until the end of October. I don't know if they're going to be around after that, but there are some Parasite masks, some Hill Horror masks, and the Vandal mask. Now, where I like to go, you can go anywhere on Hurston, anywhere on any of the locations, any of the moons, and the planets that have loot crates that aren't the underground bunkers, aren't the like the shipwrecks, but all the HDMS ones like Stanhope and Edmonds are good places to go. But where I like to go, because there's not usually a lot of people there, is Ita. I'll go to Ita. And the reason why, if you go to Ita, you notice there's 2 HDMS places there, Woodruff and Ryder. So I'm just going to set one of these as my destination. We're going to now fly. We got a little orbital marker here we got to go to get to the moon. We're going to go there. Now, I have been looking through Spectrum, trying to confirm some things that I've heard, both in chat, in-game, as well as some people saying on Spectrum, that you need to have the masks in your inventory. You need to end, whenever this patch ends, with them potentially on you or something like that. But from what I see in Spectrum, it's the looting process which is what gets you the mask. So if you loot the mask, just like before it was visiting Benny Henge, or killing 50 different players, or visiting Jumptown, I believe when you actually loot the mask, you will have that mask attributed to you. So if you find masks, you can't give them to other people. You can't buy masks with UEC from other people and have them in your inventory and expect that this is going to work. The only way that I can think this is going to work is if you loot it yourself. I might be wrong on that, but I do not believe I am. So now we're here at Ita. We're going to go to Woodruff, or Ryder, not Woodruff, that's where we're pointed at. We're going to go there first, and we're going to check out what is there. Now, the other reason why I like Ita is that going between these 2 POIs is very quick and easy because of the lack of atmosphere. There's a very thin atmosphere on this moon. Still, you do need a helmet and an undersuit. You could technically run from your ship to one of the buildings without it, but don't expect yourself to last too long. If you're on something like Hurston, you don't need anything. I also do like that I have a ship with a bed. So if I'm not finding any masks, or if there seems to be people on this moon, I can just log out on my bed, log back in, and try again on a different server. Don't do that on the surface of the moon. Fly up a bit, at least like maybe like about a kilometer, about 1,000 meters, and then that way you're not gonna go into the geometry or have any issues like that when you log back in. So other than that, the login seems to be working. Also, unfortunately, this moon still has this issue with altitude not working, but with my jump drive still on, I can see I'm 12 kilometers away. Now I'm 11. Now I'm 10. You can still kind of see at least close to your altitude. Now I'm going to start slowing down when I get closer here. 5,000 away now. Now I can turn my jump drive off, and I can see the lights just starting to come into focus here. I'm going to mouse wheel down so I don't slam into the surface, and hit N so I don't forget to put my landing gear down, which I seem to on the Nomad still forget to for some reason. Might as well turn my ship lights on, see if that helps. Not really. So where I'm just going to land, you can land anywhere. You can land on one of these pads if you want, but I prefer to kind of just like get closer to these different locations here, these different buildings. I'm just going to land right in the middle of them. And if I do an external view here, you can see right ahead there's one building, there's 2 here, and there's a Platinum Bay. Those are all the locations I'm going to loot here. So I'm going to land, and I'm going to turn off my engines and get up. Now, you will find gray boxes here if you're looking for a multi-tool, looking for some clothes, some food. You can loot those. What I also like about the HDMS locations is they do... Come on, door. Come on. There we go. They do have local inventory. So you're able to loot directly to local inventory as opposed to having to carry things out. So we're going to start first with this one over here. The gray boxes do have cool things, but if you are only looking for the masks, only look for the red boxes. The red boxes are where it's at. That's where you're going to find the masks. Not guaranteed that you're going to find one, and if you do, it might not be the one you want. I was finding a lot of Vandal masks before I found any of the other ones, the Parasite ones, which you can loot, but I do not believe those are going to be attributed to your account. Or the second version of the Vandal. There's a red loot box there. There's none here, so we're going to go check out this one. Or they're very hard to find The very hard to find masks. So these masks here, I'm just going to go to other. These are just helmets, but I'm going to loot them anyways. Helmets, helmets, helmets. Never have too many helmets. The Vandal mask is the hardest one to find. So that's it. That's the only red loot crate in this building. The only loot crate itself. We're going to go back through here. Now, another thing I'm going to show you at the next location. I don't know if you've noticed what I'm doing. There's two ways to operate these doors. One way... Whoa. Well, I've fallen. There is some, especially with wind, moving very slowly. You can see here, if I go, I'm walking into the wind here. And it does tend to cause you to fall around a lot. So that is one of the annoying things on the microgravity, is the amount that you fall or trip or have to struggle in the wind. But we're going to go to Platinum Bay next. A lot of people overlook Platinum Bay as far as loot crates. But when I get to the airlock, I'm going to show you a little bit of a trick. Sorry, I hopefully didn't cough directly into the microphone there. So once we're behind the wind here, we're moving a little bit faster. We're going to go into Platinum Bay. So you can open the airlock by holding F and then clicking open. Or if you're looking at it, just tap F. Same with this here. Look at that, tap F. So much quicker for certain things like this. Now I don't have to actually go in here. I look around, there's a gray loot crate. I don't need it. That's it. No red one. No reason to go in there and then open the door again. So, very fast to loot Platinum Bay. If I was looking for food or trying to just make some money, once again, I'm tripping on the stairs. Now we're going to go to the next building. This one here. Actually moving fast here. That's kind of nice. Now this is why I don't think this is necessarily super easy. When people talk about how they worked hard for their masks and now it's super easy, you still have to do the work. You still have to search around, you still have to try to find them, you still have to compete with other people searching for masks, especially if you're on a busy place. There's another red loot box here. Let's open this crate, and there is one of the masks. Now this is actually one of the new ones. So this is the Hill Horror mask, Hill Horror Reborn. The Reborn one, you can see it had green on there. It's a bit darker color. If I put this on here, oh, I can't put it on directly because, there we go, armor. So you can see it's got like the green over here and it's a darker color than the other masks. So that is currently in the local inventory. So now it's looted. Now I don't have to worry about it. No more red here. We're going to keep going. Now I believe that's all you have to do is loot it and put it in your inventory so that it is now my mask and will be attributed to me. If you are playing with someone else and you already have that particular mask and the person beside you needs it, do not take it out of the loot crate and give it to them. Let them loot it. Now, if you are with someone and they've seen the mask, they tell you it's in there, go take it, and you try to and you can't open the loot crate, there is a timer that when someone has looked at that loot crate, another person can't open it for about 30 seconds. So just get them to wait there. There's another red one. I'm going to look in here real quick though. There's one. So we're going to look here first. That's a cool helmet. The Mandible Snowfly helmet. Grab that. Get another undersuit. Get some armor. So you're finding some other cool stuff in here as well. Not just the Vara helmets. But we're going to keep looking. I want to try to find another helmet. See how many we can get here. There. Now look at this. This is the Hill Horror helmet. If I put this beside this one, you can see the green with the blacker color and the brown with the red. So now I've got both Hill Horror helmets, Overlord helmet switchback, nice orange jumpsuit. Now we're just looking for the Vandal mask. I am not expecting to find it, but we might get lucky. So I'm going to only go to 2 locations in order to look for this. And that's it, no red. Oh, there's a red one here. It'll be amazing if I find one here. No, but check this out. I got another Mandible Sandcrawler. I got a Calico Tactical Helmet. I got a Paladin Helmet. So many cool finds in these crates right now, which is pretty cool. Not a lot of backpacks, but I find a lot of armor, a lot of undersuits, and a lot of good helmets. No weapons will be at these locations. So red loot crates do have weapons. If you're at a place like one of the farms, like Terra Mills, you may find weapons there. I found a railgun there the other day. But here, we're limited. Okay, so was that all the locations? Was there one more? No, I did 3 plus that. Okay, so now we're going to head back into our ship. Now, if you want, you can then, inside your ship, transfer items there in order to bring back to wherever you're going. So I could go in here and go, I'd like to bring some undersuits and helmets home. So, come on, open door. So just hit I. So this is local, and this is my ship, and I could bring things over. I'm going to bring the chest armor over. I could wear that one if I want. I don't want to right now. Why isn't that letting me? There we go. Perfect. Some arms. I could bring these cool helmets over and put them in my ship if I want to and bring them over. Or you can leave them there. They are in your local inventory of this location. If you go to knickknacks, you can find where you are. So I am in Hurston, Eta, Ryder, and it will show me the items that I have in this location here. So you can do that as well. You can store a lot of items there and they're now permanently stored. And just leave all your items there. You don't need to bring them with you. But we're going to now go to the next location to show you how quickly you can get from one location to the next. So just turn my engines back on. While it warms up, I'm going to quickly choose Woodruff, set, fly up, hit B for my quantum drop while I'm flying up. Watching that marker that's on the left side of my screen, that little red arrow, as soon as it turns blue, we are high enough to go to the next location. There it is, it's blue. And now we're just going to fly around the moon to the next location. So I'm going to go check that one out and see if I find anything. So here we are at Woodruff. You can see the layout is very similar. We have one building to loot here, one here, and then behind the Platinum Base. So I'm going to loot these buildings and see what I find. I'm also going to drop off the gear that I put into my ship here so that I don't lose it, because I'm going to show you one other trick that you might not have thought of. And it looks like a big nothing. So that was the last location in this place. And there was absolutely no red loot crates. There was a ton of the gray ones. So I could have easily filled this place up with food and multi-tools and everything else. But I just have here the stuff that I had dropped out of my ship into local inventory. I found absolutely nothing here. Doesn't mean that if I leave this place and then come back later, or if I get into my ship, fly up a bit, do a bad logout and come back, there isn't going to be red crates here. To find that last mask, the Vandal mask, oh, there was at least one of these crates here. Is there anything here? See, pants. I can find multi-tools. Nothing that I really need, though. If I fly up and do a bad logout and come back, which I did before, hopefully I can find more loot crates, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. Now, also, on top of that, it did take me a long time to find a Vandal mask. The Vandal masks are extremely rare. If that's the one you're looking for, it's going to take a while. You're going to find a lot of the Hill Horror masks of both varieties before you find that. But let's say you find it, and let's say you want to get it back to home. So I have this here, this Morov's SH helmet, and I really like this Paladin helmet. I want to get this Paladin helmet back home. The easiest way to do that, if you have one thing that you want to bring back, or one set of gear that you found that you want to bring back, and you're really worried about piracy, really worried about blowing up and landing, and you don't want to leave it here in this local inventory, all I got to do now is exit the menu and then log back in. Because I set my spawn at Everest Harbor, when I log back in, my character, wearing what they're wearing now, will be at Everest Harbor. So it's a little bit of a cheat, but this is why I took stuff out of my ship. Don't leave a bunch of gear in your ship if you do this, because your ship will need to be claimed in order to get your stuff back. But at least, if you really want to get one of those helmets to a place like Everest Harbor, or Lorville, or Air 18, or Port Tressler, or Orson, why would you ever be at Orson? This is the way to do it. It's not really by the rules, I'd say, but it works. You log out, your character has made its way there. Eventually, that's not going to work. Eventually, the plan is that your character is kind of going to do its own thing until you log back in. Who knows where you'll end up. But right now, I'm going to get up here. We're going to hit I. And there, see? Wearing my helmet in Everest Harbor. So it is a way to get the helmets to where you want to go if you need to do that. But that is it. Once you have the helmets, they're not going to show up on the website. They're not going to be attributed to you until, as it says in the Spectrum post, and I will link that below, the 3.18 patch is released. And when that is released, that's when they're going to start attributing things to you. But in the meantime, you can collect helmets. As long as you collect one of each and just leave them in an inventory somewhere, and you're the one that pulled them out of the loot crate, you can feel pretty confident that you're going to have those ships. Now, I'm going to just claim this, so I have it back here when I'm done later. And that's it. Those are the Halloween masks. Let me know in the comments below if you found the mask yet. What do you think about them bringing the Vandal mask back for a second round? Or the fact that they actually made a new Hill Horror mask. Slightly different colors. I would have preferred every year, if they're going to offer the same mask, make them slightly different. So you can say, look, I've got one from 2 years ago, or I got this year's model. That would be, in my opinion, better. But at the same time, it's pretty cool. You can find the Parasite masks also. They do exist. I don't think I have one. No? No, I don't have one. Those are the only Halloween masks are the ones I just showed you. So they do have the Parasite masks. I don't believe those are being attributed to you. I believe it's only the 3, the 2 Hill Horror, and the Vandal. So get out there, start looking for those masks, and happy hunting. And look forward, I've got some videos coming out soon. I'm going to talk a bit more about CitizenCon, but I believe the next one I'm going to try to get out is talking about the 2 new vehicles. The Spirit, which just was released in concept, and the STV, which was released for sale and drivable, not flyable, in game. If you're flying it, you're going too fast over a cliff. So until next time, hopefully this helped, and I hope to see you soon in the verse. Hey. Hey. No. She wasn't looking. But you, thank you for watching. Goodbye.